Good morning and welcome to Liberated Badass. I'm so glad to be here and I'm so glad that you are too. So this last week has been one of my favorite kind of weeks. I now refer to it as transformation ready. Like the state in which I live in is this state of transformation ready. And what that means is that I have figured out that the best way that I learn and change and grow is to be immersed in a situation and to really dig in deep into a person, a thing, a concept, a new skill, whatever it is, to really be able to fully soak in it is the best way that I learn and transform. And so now I put myself intentionally in various situations in order to transform because I kind of love it. And I'll tell you backstory over the last 2 years, it's been a learning, a conditioning to love transformation because about 2 years ago, I started, we'll say, into my like official awareness of transformation and what was happening to me. This sense of like spiritual awakening and waking up a new person is one way I like to describe it. But I did some official quote unquote transformation personal development work, and I was like literally feeling in my essence, in my body, things being stripped away from me and transforming. So since then, I now intentionally put myself in those situations. Up until then, that first class that I took, I resisted for a year doing it because I knew that I was gonna have to go through this fire in order to get to the other side. In order to feel the transformation, I was gonna have to go through this fire. And I had made the fire up in my head to be so scary that I literally avoided doing this class for a year, even though I had watched a couple of my very dear friends go through it, and I had watched them literally transform over the year into new people. But I did it. And so now I'm like addicted to it because fuck, life is way more better when I keep getting better. And it's about like, it's, you know, people now, we have this phrase, well overused, live your best life, which I think people tend to still associate with eat, drink, and be merry, which of course, like for me, that is not it at all. Live your best life, I've rephrased like best life living, because to me, doing that is about being the best version of myself that I can be while I am living. And that is truly my number one goal right now, and possibly until I die, is to be the very best version of myself while I'm living. So transformation is that process, is one of the vehicles that allows for me to keep pushing forward. You know, just like working out at the gym, right? You go to the gym and you start, and it like takes 3 months sometimes before you start to actually see a difference in your body, and you start to like notice the physical transformations, and you start to notice the difference in your appetite and the difference in your cravings and the difference in your muscle tone and all of those types of things. Transformation work is the same way. It takes time, and it's like a process of happening. And you get 3 months out, 6 months out, a year out, and you go through various different types of transformation and various different types of your life, and you're triggering certain beliefs and certain thought patterns to be able to unleash what's there, allow it to come out of you, and then process through it to be able to get to the other side. So it's the same concept of going through the difficult time, going through that process, going through the fire to be able to get to the other new and improved, best version of yourself. So anyway, that's like an explanation of transformation I had not actually intended to give, but it's pretty good. And so this week has been one of those. I met someone who reminds me of myself, and that doesn't happen that often. I mean, I've met a handful of people over my years, definitely a solid handful, fortunately, that remind me of myself. There's some version of me, and I am a lover of people and a studier of people, and in all of my work, I find people so fascinating, and so naturally when I meet versions of myself, I'm even more fascinated, and I want to understand, how does this person work? How do they operate? How do they think? How does their brain interpret information? What drives them? And so anyway, so I met one of those people 10 days ago, and he also happens to be super cute. So it makes it even more fun when they turn out to be super cute. And it's been such a fascinating experience. And when I meet these people who are so like me, now in my transformation ready state, I am able to be progressively more honest and transparent. I have less filtering to go through between my brain and what comes out of my mouth. And so the way that I met this person, within the first 15 minutes, we'd already made the decision, he and I both, he also had this, stated it right up front, that honesty was the most important thing to him, and that he was a super honest person. And so when we say honest, it's really not about not lying, but it's about being open and authentic and sharing the most true version of your thoughts. Just to give context for honest, what that means to me. And so over this last week, I've had an opportunity to be so much myself and filter my thoughts the very least. And it has been life-changing, so fascinating, life-changing. And he's someone that radiates this sense of safety for several different reasons, where I feel like I can just be myself without filtering through all of the possible reasons why I shouldn't be myself because of how he might judge me or what he might think of me, or that our friendship would end. All of these reasons that people normally filter through all their thoughts before they actually say stuff to people that they love, people that they know, people that they work with. And so it's been a really interesting experience, and I feel like I have grown tremendously. So I want to encourage you to seek out those people in your life who are so like you, and or who allow you to be the most honest version of yourself, to where you filter the very least and yet also feel heard and seen. That part is really important. So it's easy to say I'm honest and I just say whatever comes to me and I don't care what people think. It's not really about that either. This, at the end of the day, Transformation Ready is all about connection. That the end result that I most want is to feel deeply connected to myself and to other people. Other people who are people that I get along with and can hold space for my energy. So I would encourage you to find those people who you can filter the very least, share your most honest heart, and feel deeply heard and accepted, and have that space held for you. It is a life-changing experience to be in relationship with people who can hold your space, who can accept whatever it is that you have to say. And of course, they're going to have a judgment, but at the end of the day, they don't judge you for it, right? They work through their own judgment of what you're saying to them, and then there's no judgment communicated to you. And so it's this very safe, open space for you to practice and put into practice being the very best version of yourself. I promise you, you will be richly rewarded, and ultimately you will feel that deeper sense of connection to yourself, which ultimately allows us to feel even more a deep sense of belonging here on the planet, we truly belong here on the planet. And your connections with other people are also richly deepened. All right, everyone, have an awesome day. Go do that thing you most want to be doing, and I'll talk to you soon.